Fuck it. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I made $21,112 with one singular business model called info consulting, right? Now, maybe I'm telling you this exact name and you may have heard it before. You already know what it is kind of about. I do want to showcase exactly how I do it because it is different than some other people that say they do it, right? It is kind of different. So I want to be able to show you that exactly. So I'm kind of done gatekeeping. I've been doing this for a while and just wanted to show you exactly how I've been able to make money. I'm just very transparent with it because I was once at a point where I was trying a lot of things and hearing and listening to a lot of guys online, stuff like that, and it wasn't very super clear. I'm going to be super clear with you guys and be super honest, right? So as you can see, when it comes to the actual results side of things, this is for May. Obviously, this is my Stripe, which is payment processor. I have another one as well. That's why you see kind of these wires come in. Obviously, it's Canadian money. So 12.6K here, 4.5K here, 4K, whatever, right? And this is also starting for the month of June, as you can see the payouts, right? So it's just to show you some proof, obviously, because that's what it comes down to is at the end of the day, if I'm showing you this. So if you didn't know, the actual model is called info offer consulting or info consulting, right? It's kind of the same thing, each of the names. And essentially, it's where you consult aspiring info product business owners and get paid really well to do it, right? And if you don't know what an info product is, it's all the courses and the coaching that you see online, right? All that kind of information, people trying to pitch you their mentorship and stuff like that. That's what it is, right? So you basically help people do that. Now, I know you don't know how to do it, stuff like that. I'll be able to show you, right? And it's simple and it's real, right? So if you stick around this video and just watch it, I'm going to be able to show you exactly how it works and why it's actually one of the best ways to be able to hit anywhere from 10 to 40K months online right now. People even hitting more and stuff like that, right? And here's exactly what you'll discover in this video, right? The big problem holding most people back in the online education or make money online space and how to actually be able to escape from it. The exact roadmap I used to go from zero, complete zero, where I tried so many kind of different business models. If you know anything about my journey, to be able to make 20K plus per month online, right? At the age of 20, right? And also a full breakdown, the info offer consulting model, including how to do outreach, sign your first client, and start scaling fast and start getting those clients and results and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to be able to show you that in this video. So pretty good video. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to go through it, right? So let's start with the actual problem with the make money online space is if you haven't been, living under a rock, obviously, the online educational space is booming or bigger than ever before, right? You see it, every creator, whatever you see on Instagram, TikTok, they're all selling something. We all know this, right? And it's actually becoming a big popularized, if you will. Now people in comments are saying like, not buying your course and stuff like that, right? Which is kind of funny. It's just to say that, I don't want to get into the stats and everything, but it's just to say that it's a huge industry, right? The industry of selling information online. And I'm not just talking about like scammy courses and stuff like that. Like people who have actually really, really good programs out there, right? Make a bunch of money, etc. Right? And it puts this way ahead of most online business trends we've seen in the last decade, right? All the kind of business models you maybe heard about, stuff like that, crypto, dropshipping, SMA. This is going to be bigger and stuff like that, right? But right now, it's mainly AI and especially the online education, right? And these are basically the two biggest gold mines in the online space right now, right? And people who are actually going to learn how to position themselves around early are going to win big, in the long term, right? People who are going to look at the industry and not just blame people and just say things about it, but actually trying to find a way to be able to get into this industry, make money. Doesn't mean you have to sell a course. That's not what I'm saying, right? You're going to be able to learn what I do specifically. You're going to be able to win big and make a lot of money, right? That's essentially why I got started as well, because I was tired of seeing everybody just making a bunch of money, and I was wondering how they actually making their money and to do this, right? So that's why I decided I don't have to sell a course. I just have to get into this industry somehow. There's money to be made somewhere, right? And basically, this is basically like the online business space history, if you will. So this is all the things I definitely tried as well. Maybe you've tried as well for yourself and you've seen online. 2015, 2018, dropshipping. Everybody knows about dropshipping. 2018 to 2022 was crypto and NFTs a bit. And SMMA was huge, having a service-based business. I tried that as well. I had clients. I did the whole thing, right? And 2022 and up, it's mainly having an AI agency. So everything has to do with AI is very, very popular. And info businesses, right? So coaches and mentorship, stuff like that, right? And while AI agencies might look like the next big thing, right? Everybody's getting into AI, everything's going to implement it. If you actually look closely, you'll kind of start to see the cracks. And here's the truth about it, right? So most local businesses aren't even problem aware. When you have an AI agencies, normally the clients that you're pitching to is local businesses, stuff like that, kind of like a SMA, if you will, right? And the problem with that is that, sure, they've heard about AI, but they don't know if they actually need it, right? They already have their business. It's been 40 years in business, and this new kid comes along and be like, oh, you have to integrate AI, right? But for what exactly, right? So you kind of spend up a lot of your time when you have this kind of agency to educate people on it, on how to use it and how it's going to help them, right? And now the AI tools, if you want, they're kind of becoming commoditized. What I mean by that is that something that you'd be like, oh, this is going to be a super great AI service. It's going to become a tool in the next 6 months for $20 a month. So it's not going to be valuable because it's constantly changing, right? It's not easy to scale. And unless you're actually building your own AI tool, which you probably aren't, you're not actually creating any real leverage, right? And the worst part is that the whole point of AI is actually to replace human labor and automate, right? But that's why so many businesses would rather just install the automations themselves instead of hiring someone. You're getting AI to your business to have robots doing it for you, not to actually hire people to do the robots installing and managing and pay the staff. You know what I mean? So that doesn't make sense, right? But meanwhile, starting an info business, if you will, is still one of the most underrated and huge opportunities online, right? And to prove that, here's the actual real problem about this that no one really talks about, right? Everyone is obviously pitching their own business model. You see this everywhere, but they'll tell you to start SMA, dropshipping, YouTube automation, copywriting, even EIA agency. But the reality is behind that, unfortunately, is that they're all actually running the same business model. Now, it's not to say that these people don't actually do the business model they preach. I know plenty of guys who actually do the business model. They sell some coaching on the side, and sure, let's be honest, selling some kind of coaching is profitable. It does make sense, right? But it's just to say a lot of people do it not correctly, where it's the main business and stuff like that, right? A perfect example, I don't know if you know this guy. Is really popular in the info space. He's telling you to be able to start it, but then at the same time he's promoting his stuff to be able to sell info products. So I'm not anything bad against these guys or anybody who does this. It's a good business model. It helps a lot of people. Some people get good results. I'm just saying I'm pointing it out, right? So you may be saying, that's the answer, Adam, just selling my own info product, right? Not exactly, because first of all, you can't sell anything, right? You don't have any skills, whatever, and you don't have an audience, whatever, right? Because while selling information is the best business model, it actually only works, like I said, if you're actually good at what you do, right? And this is examples of actually being good at what you do, right? If you make 10K a month as a copywriter, you can teach other copywriters how to sign more clients, right? If you have lots of women, you're good with women, whatever, you become a dating coach, right? If you're a photographer, we can teach other people how to become better photographers or get more clients, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're watching this video, maybe you have one little skill, but it's not enough to be able to teach others online, and especially not like make a course and stuff like that, right? But here's the thing: if you're watching this, you probably fall into one of these three categories. Maybe I'm going to name you exactly watching this video, right? Maybe you're running a marketing agency or any kind of service-based business online. Maybe you're stuck below 5K. You only have one client, two client, whatever, and you kind of feel stuck, right? That's a possibility for sure. I've been there as well myself. Two, maybe you've tried other business models. I've also been there myself. Maybe try dropshipping, SMA, TikTok shop, whatever. Any kind of business model that's being pitched right now, right? Or maybe three, you're a closer, setter, copywriter, freelancer, all those kind of little jobs, or thumbnail designer, if you will. And you've seen how online business operates from the inside, but you're still trading time for money, and it's a lot of work, and you're not building yourself for your own business, right? So if you're one of these, what should you be doing instead, right? What's the alternative to be able to get into something that's going to make you money, be able to scale? And that's not so much competition, because the problem with this is, and I'll give you a clear example, being a setter or being a copywriter, I get pitched every single day for someone to be my copywriter, and I'm super small. So imagine those big accounts, how much people actually get pitched. And copywriter, I'm sorry, sure, it's not like AI, but it's pretty fucking close to AI. Like, AI can probably do your job even better, especially if you're just starting out. So I'm personally going to use ChatGPT, right? So that's the thing. But again, copywriters, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's possible. Some people make great money. I'm just saying when you're a beginner, when you're just starting out, it is quite hard. Same thing for a bunch of different things, right? Short form content editor, stuff like that. There's just so much competition for it, right? And you're also competing. Let's say you're a short form content editor, or you want to be able to edit some videos. You're competing against people who can do it for dirt cheap in their country as well. So if you're someone from, I don't know, depends what it is, UK, Canada, USA, it's going to be even harder, right? So that's one thing as well. And you have to learn the skill of video editing as well. So that's pretty much that. But What should you be doing instead? Like I said, right? You should actually just ride the online education wave by partnering with micro personal brands. I'm going to get into specifically how it works, who want to launch an info product and their info business in a specific niche. They're really good at something. They've heard about the industry and they want to be able to get into it. Okay, that's who you have to help, but don't know exactly how or lack the systems to do it. A lot of people want to get into this business. They think it's easy, they think it's simple, but actually doing it is another thing, right? You should stop trading your time for money. Don't become another service provider, someone who does things not correctly and stuff like that and doesn't get paid for it. You want to build an info offer consulting business instead, right? That leverages your current skills and experience that you have. Whether it is you have zero skills or you have one or two skills or whatever, you can take that and be able to help others with it, right? While stacking on new basic knowledge about how to actually launch an info product. Because again, you don't know at the start how to be able to do it. That's where you have to learn. Like in anything, you have to learn anyways, right? And then what you want to do is consult clients like I do, right? And how to build their info business and install the simple systems I showed you earlier. Now, it doesn't have to be some complex 10-step funnel, build some websites. It doesn't have to be that. Selling an info product, if done correctly, can be very, very simple. You can just do it from your Instagram, but how to be able to attract clients on your Instagram, how to be able to close them, how does it work for sales, fulfillment. These are all things people do not know how to. So if you're able to just learn how it works, help someone with it that's in need of it, right? You're going to be able to get paid. As simple as that, right? That's basically it. Um, so this is exactly what I just showed you. What I did to go from inconsistent 2K months with my marketing industry. I was doing, SMMA, getting clients. I was basically like an employee to them at that point, right? To be able to make 20K per month, as you saw the beginning of the video, and scaling to six figures, right? At 20 years old. And the best part about this business model is that you do not need to deal with chasing low ticket clients. Maybe you're doing SMMA, you're charging $500 per month. That is absolutely nothing, right? You're going to get nowhere. You can't even like buy food at this point for $500 per month, right? Endless ghosting and flaky prospects that just aren't really interested, managing complicated teams or fulfillment headaches, like super complex. That's not what this business model is, and that's the beauty of it, right? But because we're at the start, that's why another reason you have to start now, right? And instead of being another commoditized agency owner, like I said, you get to actually position yourself as an authority. When you're a consultant, your level of perception of value is way higher than just a service provider. You consult them on how to work, so you have the expertise more than them, right? You enjoy high ticket clients who value your consulting business and pay accordingly to actually what you're worth and how much you can actually generate them. If you're a short form content editor, it's hard to directly see the value of money you're bringing in. But if you're helping someone with a business and make 10K per month in 3 months with their business, well, they're going to be able to see, well, because I made this 10K per month, it's because of him who helped me at the start, right? So you can make someone way more money, especially with at the start. Um, you work with a simple, repeatable system that's easy to scale without burning out, and you gain time freedom, financial stability faster than any kind of other agency. And you basically do it the right way. And you basically just go in the vehicle that's going to make you most money now. Maybe back then in 2018, that was the best way. You could call up any local business and have them sign and stuff like that. It's not like this anymore, right? If you look at a online business, local business Facebook page, they get DM like 10, 15 times a day for people who want to make their website, do their ads, whatever. Forget about it. You're never going to sign these clients, right? So that's the problem. So here's the exact roadmap. I used to go from 0 to 20K per month with this kind of business, right? Like I said, I shut down my marketing industry that I was doing. I had an SMA helping basically companies get more employees by doing Facebook ads. That's what I used to do, right? And I would work with the different kind of companies and stuff like that, right? I was kind of tired of being lowballed. I was basically charging nothing. People didn't even want to sign. I was stuck at 2, 3K months. I had 1 or 2 clients, stuff like that. I was still doing what I was doing. I was at school, working my job and stuff like that, right? And again, the reason I got into this is because I start noticing people, everybody, not just people, everybody making a bunch of money in this info space, right? With less stress and more demand. You can legit just post a video, get a course sale or a coaching sale, whatever, and have the systems in place where it doesn't have you putting more effort in. I don't know if you know. That's where scalability lies. I realized also that most of them were simply just selling what they know, nothing crazy. They're not inventing something new, right? And I also saw, and this is key, that there was a lot of small creators and expert. And when I mean creators, I don't want to sound like a guy who's talking about 100K followers, stuff like that. Very, very small accounts. Could be your aunt who's a photographer who's really good at what she does, right? But she wants to make more money. That could be a creator who has, I don't know, 2K followers on Instagram. That's what I mean, right? And experts, people who are really, really good at what they do with one expertise that they've spent maybe 5, 10 years mastering, who are sitting on gold right now because they could make a bunch of money with it, but they don't even know how to package it. Or even worse, they don't even know the info product business exists, right? So if you can show them the opportunity, complete game changer, right? So what I did is I basically studied the top creators and offers, combined it with everything I learned from running my agency, and I have an overall idea of how it worked as well. So I just spent like weeks and weeks just studying exactly how it works to be able to take it in for product from the very, very start, be able to make money with it, whether it's a coaching program, a course, whatever it is, right? I studied every single way and different kind of funnels and basically everything, right? And I know it might seem like a lot to learn, but trust me, it's actually more simple than you think, right? So, like I said, I decided to become an info offer consultant. That's basically what I named it, right? Consulting creators on how to actually turn their knowledge that they have to scalable, if you want, info businesses that actually make money, right? And here's what happened. My first client, okay, I outreached to him. I basically kind of knew him as well. He was local to me. He didn't have a huge following, right? And again, it's not even really about the following because there's ways to go around that. But we hit 23K in 20 days from launching his info business, right? And now looking back on it, that was a terrible launch. We could have done even more, right? Which is the crazy thing. After that, I was like, okay, I know how to get clients from my marketing agency. I had a few. I know how it works, outreach and sales and stuff like that. A bit, right? I wasn't professional, but I knew. So I was like, okay, let me just find a predictable and a bit untapped, if you want, ways to be able to reach unlimited potential clients. This is what's nice. Unlimited. How much people out there in the world have an Instagram account, have some kind of followers, are active, and are really good at what they do? There's millions, right? So that's why I knew I had to find a way. What I did after that is signed clients, got results, and then I scaled. Started on getting more clients, stuff like that, and I'll be able to get into how it works for the delivery. I know maybe you have some questions on, do I take a rev share, do I not, whatever. Certain clients yes, certain clients no. That's what's great about this model. I know there's other models like growth operating where you have to find someone who has like 200,000 followers and get a rev share, install the system, stuff like that. I do that as well, but it's just to say that you don't have to do that because landing someone who has 100,000, 200,000 followers at the start is going to be difficult. And that's why I've been able to find this way where I'm still in the same industry, but I'm still able to make some good money, right? So I consult people as well, and I do rev shares as well. It depends on the client. What you can also do is have you consult someone, and if you see they're making money, then you take a rev share and then you implement the systems. That's also a good way to do it, right? So again, I achieved time, location, and financial freedom through it. That's truly what I got. And I'm not just saying that to be able to sound like a guru. That's actually what I do right now. It's a random day, week, and I'm just in my house chilling, right, making this video. Um, this is exactly what I use, right? Step one is, like I said, learning the system, the knowledge required. You have to do this, or else you're not be able to position yourself as a consultant. So very important. Spend a few weeks if you need, just really learning how it works, right? Don't rush into this. Step two is signing ideal clients, which is outreach. Unfortunately, it's outreach. It's not ads. It's going to be able to get you a bunch of clients, right? Outreach. That's kind of any business model. Not to say it's bad. There's a way to do it. Especially, this is one thing I want to put as well. Especially if you're reaching out to someone who has 2,000 followers, the chances of them to be able to see your message, respond, and say, maybe yes, is way more likely to someone who has 200,000 followers, or even worse, a local fucking business, right? Who gets a bunch of messages and a bunch of cold calls like, who is this? Who is this? They don't even know anything about online space. That's even worse, right? So that's the advantage. And then step three, getting results for those clients, right? And showing them the help and what it can bring, and then scaling just like that, right? That's basically the roadmap. So let me put it down roadmap and let me explain a bit more like I said, right? The knowledge and skill required, right? You don't need to be a complete expert, but you do need some good and have a clear understanding of how to actually launch and scale an info business, a course, a coaching program, whatever, right? And here's basically what you need to know, right? You don't have to know every single detail and stuff like that. How to set up a funnel, a basic funnel. I'm not even talking about just a VSL funnel with a website. Could be an Instagram funnel. Could be like how to be able to get clients who are interested in the big funnel if you want, and being able to get in the small funnel where they close. That's the idea of a funnel, right? And run basic paid ads as well on Instagram. That's also important to learn, especially if that person doesn't have much followers, right? Strong understanding of copywriting, a bit how it works, content creation as well, how to be able to get to do the marketing for clients as well. Knowledge of sales process like DMs, calls, follow-ups. How does that exactly work? You're going to be able to learn this by doing the business yourself, right? And having clients, but you have to have a basic knowledge of how it works, right? Basic course building and curriculum design if you want, how to build and organize systems, CRM, automation, client fulfillment. That's a bit more advanced, but it's still possible that you need to know this, right? And how to get these skills. Like I said, what I did as well, mainly, I learned from doing it. That's the first thing. But option two is sorry, option one is self-learn. So go on YouTube and just take notes. Everything on YouTube is there. From what I just said to everything. Go on ChatGPT and say like, give me all the topics I need to be able to learn how to properly run or scale or launch info business. It's gonna give you every single topic. Just YouTube every single one. Like, don't be lazy about things. Like, this is the one thing. Like, bro, don't expect everything to fall in your lap. This is gonna take some time to be able to learn how it works, right? Spend a few days or weeks deeply studying the info business model. You can break down top performing funnels using a Miro board, be able to see how it works and stuff like that. You just do your own research, read books, whatever. I don't really read books. I just put that there for whatever reason. Practice, write simple funnels, ads, offer breakdowns, do some stuff for free, even for some clients. Like, try to get a client that would be a good client for you and just build out the whole thing. Like, practice yourself, right? And then option two, you can find a mentor, shortcut the learning curve by working directly with someone who has done it before, learn their systems and frameworks. You can do that as well if you'd like, right? And the main goal with this, again, is to set the foundation and know exactly how to do the work before actually offering it to anyone. For someone to be able to pay you a lot of money, you're going to know how, you're going to have to know exactly how to deliver for them and showcase that you're really good, right? Now, step two, the fun part, right? Signing your first client. So here's what an ideal creator criteria kind of looks like, right? So you want to look for micro personal brands who have a clear area of expertise. Don't go to someone who's really bad at what they do. Or let's say there's a photographer. I put a few photographers there. Don't reach out to someone who's really, really like, don't take good photos. Like, that's the first thing you have to establish, that they're really good at what they do, right? Could be anything, right? Could be fitness, could be dating, trading, copywriting, content creation, business, real estate, could be a bunch of things, arts, whatever it is, right? That post consistent, right? Don't take someone whose their last post is 4 years in 2020 one or something, right? Post consistent educational content and have at least some kind of audience momentum, right? They don't have to have 50K followers, but 2K, 4K, even maybe a K, there's potential to do. I knew someone who had 600 followers and was making like 40K a month. So it doesn't matter. Are good at what they do, like I said, and we don't have a scalable offer. Maybe these kind of people, but this is kind of rare. They sell something, but they don't have any funnel. VSL, they're stuck selling one-to-one coaching, low ticket community courses, whatever, right? So these people are all sitting on gold, if you want. They just don't know how to package it or build systems around it. Or even worse, like I said, they don't even know they can turn whatever they're good at into something they can teach others online, right? That's what you have to show them. And that's why you're super important, because never ever someone's actually proposed them that. They don't even know that it existed. So if you're able to position to yourself, and when you're outreaching to them, don't actually be like, let's work together, pay me, whatever. No, just show them the opportunity. Show them, hey, you're really good at this. This is exactly what you could do to make money. Do you want more info on it? That's what you have to do for them to have trust. Key outreach fundamentals: personalize every message. This is just basic stuff. Explain the benefit and why they should care. Don't sound needy. Like I said, and lead with value. Super, super important to lead with value. Offer something coming up front, a quick funnel audit, one key monetization insight, or even how you structure the coaching offer completely. Like, I would do this, exactly, without pitching, right? And then they can just tell you their feedback, speak the language as well. And again, the goal with this is to focus on a volume plus quality, right? Your first 20 DMs or 50 DMs might not get you clients, right? And that's completely fine. You are just starting out. And again, forgot to put this in here, but your Instagram also have to have some kind of content on it. Don't be reaching out with someone with an account doesn't have a profile pic, stuff like that. Forget about that. Just be a normal human. Just be a normal human. Have your bio be like, this is what I do, whatever. That's it. Step three, probably the most important as well, getting results. This is actually what determined me to be able to get all the clients I do. I sign multiple clients every single month, as you can see from the revenue I made. So yeah, this depends on the clients you sign for what kind of results. And this is what I meant by the consulting or the rev share. If you're consulting clients, meaning you're not actually doing any of the systems for them directly, you want to be able to give them all the right resources, make sure you hold their hand through the whole process, be available for them, and set them up for a possible rev share. Because again, if you're able to help them out with the whole system, they have their Instagram, they have their offer, they're making content, maybe they're getting some traction, then that's where you jump in and be like, hey, I can actually help you with the actual structure, the systems completely. I'll do it for you. I want a rev share. Boom. That's when you close it, right? But again, if the client doesn't do anything, it doesn't affect your income. That's why you have to charge a consulting fee, right? So that's the whole goal with it. And again, that's a problem I saw with a lot of people. People used to sign with clients and, oh yeah, I have 30% rev share. He paid me $500 up front, but I'm going to make it all back with a rev share. The client doesn't do shit. The client is not motivated. They don't care about money. They don't do it. So you left and you did all that work for $500 or 1,000 or 2,000. forget about it, right? So consulting again is way easier than building the systems. But again, I'm not saying building the systems is a waste of time. I have personally clients who have I have rev shares in them and they're doing very, very well, right? That's where you have to, it's a bit more advanced, but that's where you have to make the systems for them. If you want to set up their CRM, if you want to be able to do the content for them, if you want to be able to show them actively the sales process, being able to put people in their offers, stuff like that, right? You want to actively show them one-to-one so they can understand, do the active follow-ups to ensure that things are correctly, like be with them and be able to, they're on the right track, stuff like that. And again, the more you help them and it's easier for them to understand, the more you're going to be able to make money. So it's just a win-win. So the rev shares are good, depends on the clients, right? But I would go with consulting because again, it's not everybody that can go to someone who's big and be like, yeah, I'll take 20% of your business. Like, who are you? What have you done? Stuff like that. Consulting is easier. Like, I'll be able to guide you on how to do it. This is my price. You can adjust the price when you're starting out, get a few clients, get results, then go to rev share, right? So that's the main difference with other people kind of pitching this business model, right? Again, so that's exactly just a quick video I wanted to make about that, and that's exactly how I've been able to make this kind of revenue. I also post more insights if you want on my Instagram, so you can also go check that. It's going to be below. But again, if you watch this video, you're interested about this model, you've tried things, it's not working, you're wondering how to be able to make money, you see everybody else making money with this info products and coaching, stuff like that. You want to be able to get a piece of the pie. You don't know how to, you can't sell a course. I'm going to be able to help you, and this is not a course I'm pitching you. Don't worry about that. It's legit just by help one-on-one, right? I'm just doing this with a few guys to be able to help them because I know how it was at the start, being very, very lost at that, right? I'm going to help you one-on-one, signing your first 5 clients and getting to 10K a month in 90 days. If you're willing to put in the work, don't come to me if you think it's going to come from the sky. It's not going to work, right? If you're serious, you want to be able to get in the street, you know how it works, stuff like that. Just send me YouTube to my IGDM so I know you coming from this video specifically, and I'll be able to have a chat with you and potentially get you started if you fit the criteria. All right. So do that. Again, my IG is below. And if not, and if you want to just be able to directly book a call, like you just want to skip that and just be able to book a call with me, not for free coaching, not to pitch me because you're actually interested, you have some budget, you're ready to go. There's also going to be a link below to be able to book a call directly. If that's you, I'll talk to you soon. And if not, you just want to be able to follow me on Instagram, that's also below. All right, talk to you soon.